Let's start today's episode to talk about something in the investing world that is a little bit more annoying than normal. The biggest damage most of the time doesn't come from like big things happening. It's those quiet things that keeps on stealing from you without you even noticing it. It's not the things that will eventually end up in some Netflix documentary. It's the small things that looks perfectly fine, stealing away from you bit by bit. You think you're investing and diversifying and you stay patient and you do all those things right. And then in 30 years, when you want to see what you've accumulated in your wealth world, it's a little bit underwhelming. It's less than you expected. And it's because of these small things creeping up. I'm, of course, talking about stupid things like fees and taxes. Welcome back to the Investor Experience. Today, we are on episode 8 of 10 episodes of a mini series called Investing for Normal People. We've covered a lot of investing type of things so far about what is shares and ETFs and compounding and how much money you need to invest and platforms and blah, 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 blah. Today, we're talking a little bit more about those boring type of things that nobody really talks about. It's a tiny leaks that reduce the value of what your investment could have become. Almost like your father telling you, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And this episode is intended to make you be less disappointed in your investment portfolio in a couple of years. So first up, let's talk about fees. Fees is like rent you pay on that brick you bought inside a whole mall. You remember? And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, I've just caught you out. You haven't even watched the other episodes. Come on, man. It's like you suddenly start watching a new series on TV and starting at episode 10 and then being lost and not knowing why that guy's dead, why these two are dating. You're ruining the plot for yourself. Like, come on. Anyways, for the rest of us who knows what I'm talking about, here is why fees is dangerous. You've bought your brick, you have your brick inside this whole mall, but now you need to pay sort of a fee to keep that brick there every single month. And most of the times it's quite low. It's maybe like 1 or 2% or 0.5%. And it sounds very friendly and it's not that bad. I mean, it's a little 1%. What does 1% do? But unlike, I want to say, our government to fix the potholes in our road, that never happens. These fees get charged every single year on every single investment. And they take it on this year's growth and next year's growth. And it's sort of almost like compounding and taking fees over all of these periods and time you were invested together. 1% on your $100 you invested now seems like 100 Rand, but in 10 years' time, all of those one Rand that was taken adds up to something. So it's important to make sure you understand the fee structure and how much fees you're actually paying. Because in the long run, it can make a massive difference in your investment portfolio. The next thing that we need to talk about, that you need to keep in mind, is taxes. Blech. Nobody likes taxes. It's that business partner who come and joins you that you don't even want. I mean, like in school, it's like that one guy in the school project who you don't want there. He comes, the teacher allocates him, and he does nothing. He disappears when work needs to be done. But somehow, when the marks comes out, he's the first one to get a share, saying, "Ooh, I got an extinction." And that's a little bit how tax it is. They don't help you make better investments. They don't take any risks. They don't show up when things go wrong. But somehow they always want their cut. And unfortunately, with taxes, they want their piece every time you want to sell an investment, switch to another account, maybe trade too often, or just quickly want to try something. And it's often forget about because you don't pay tax immediately. It's only paid later on. And then you think, oh, I'm making $100, and you take that $100 and you spend it. And then later on the tax man's come and say, hey, but where's my 30%? So it's very important to keep remembering about tax and every decision that you're making, how it influences your sort of investment decisions. In most cases, the biggest chunk of tax is only being paid once you actually sell a stock. When you sell a stock for more than what you paid for it, you need to pay tax on that small little piece that you made profit on. And when you're just holding it and not selling anything, the value grow, it's just profit on paper. And normally there's no tax consequences on those. And yes, there's tax on interest and tax on dividends and all of those type of things. We're not talking about them now. We're just talking about the biggest portion of tax, which is on actual profits made on stock. So tax will always be there. And the trick is not to avoid it because tax isn't avoidable. It's just to try and delay it to pay for it later. So what I'm saying about this is that if you sell your stock now, you make a profit, you need to pay tax. And then let's say you paid 30% tax, your investment is now suddenly valued 30% less, while on the profit side, which means you've got less money to invest. Whereas if you just kept your investment in that same product without selling, without paying tax, you're delaying the tax, you've got more of your investment portfolio growing into something bigger. And then, yes, maybe in 20 or 30 years, then you pay tax. But then at least you've got more pieces of money and pieces of things working for you, generating a profit, giving you a bigger chunk of something to spend in your old age. Now, of course, there's a lot of different ways to structure your tax, and you need a tax practitioner. I'm not one who can explain all these different type of things. You've got various allowances and exemptions and things like that would help you to sort of delay your tax or maybe generate a small exemption in this year and again next year and again next year, and whatever the case might be. A tax practitioner would be best to help you with those scenarios. But just be very aware about the tax consequences of each and every trade you make. The last thing that I want to talk about today is to highlight it's not necessarily a fee or a cost, but it is something silly that most of our investors usually do. And that is by thinking that doing something means progress, which isn't always the case. And by doing this episode, I realized in doing some research that I'm very guilty of it myself. I'm preaching to the choir here. It feels like I just quickly want to buy something or sell something or switch or optimize or tweak or whatever fancy word you want to use. But doing it feels like, yes, making profits and I'm growing and I'm doing something. But technically, I'm probably doing nothing. It feels good to get a realized gain and put it in my pocket and saying I've made $100 on something. But obviously then there comes fees and taxes and stress and usually sometimes even regret with that transaction where it would have been best just to maybe just stick with it and leave it there. So that's just something I want to highlight to you to maybe be conscious about. Don't just do something for the sake of doing something. If something's working, just leave it, let it be, and do its thing. An interesting thing that I see sometimes is that some of the investment portfolios will take your sort of progress and growth and things that you made on your portfolio and compare it to if you've just kept it in some sort of ETF tracker. Um, like I think the one on the one platform compares it to S&P 500 index tracker. And sadly, I just left my money in a tracker like that. I would have generated more. So again, just be conscious about doing too much things on your portfolio. Sometimes it's better just to leave it be. And that is my story for today. It's quick, short, and sweet. We can go a lot more into detail about fees and taxes and how to stay consistent. But this was just intended to highlight those couple of things to you. So if you remember nothing else, remember to keep in mind, keep fees low, trade as little as possible, and remember the tax consequences there are. Yeah, use the structures that's available and make sure you understand it to put yourself in the best possible position you can. And that's it. You don't need perfection. You don't need to outsmart anybody. Just keep it simple as possible. Thank you for watching the Investor Experience episode today. I hope if you enjoyed it and maybe a few light bulbs here and there went on today. We've only got 2 episodes left of this Investing for Normal series. The next one would actually just going to be a bit of a summary of everything we've learned so far. And then the last one, we're going to debunk some of the definitions that people were wondering about. So if you've got any questions, please let me know. And remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Cheers. Have a good day. Bye. See you again soon. Cheers. You can go now. Bye.